off, and then he didn't play again for the rest of the season. It was tough, and each week as we got closer to the games and closer to getting our numbers back to where they belong for the pandemic, the ability to play games through what our beliefs were in the league and what our beliefs were at the university, it was a very difficult thing. The thing that can be said, though, is that our players never wavered. We just kept trudging forward on what we're doing. Obviously, we would like to play more games, Rob, but the problems that were there had to be taken care of. We did it. We practiced. We did the things we needed to do, I believe, to get better. Now we'll find out how it works out through the summer and into the fall.
All right, got first question this morning from Justin McIsaac. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, Coach. First question, I guess, is have you guys as a staff done anything to kind of inform the players on the pros and cons of getting vaccinated and brought in medical professionals or anything like that to kind of coach them up on something like that?
Yep. We've done a really good job, I think, with our training room staff. John Dana and his crew have talked to our players. We have sent out little tidbits of media information. And I think the best thing that we did, to be honest with you, Justin, is we had the team doctor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers talk to our team. And he's a UNH grad, Fred Brennan. He got on a Zoom call on a Sunday night, and we spent about an hour talking through all different scenarios, all different situations, the pros and cons of vaccinations, everything that I think these kids needed to hear, and more importantly, hear another voice other than myself, our training staff, and our coaches. And it was great. And, we had that availability with Fred. Plan on doing one more with someone from outside the community once we get back together here. But it's worked. I think a bunch of our kids have thought this out and done a pretty good job with it.
Thanks. And for Carlos, how tough has it been for you to stay sharp mentally and physically with the starts and the stops and the one game last year? Maybe you're playing a few more, but then maybe not. How tough has that been for you?
It's definitely been tough because just of the unknown, not knowing if we'll be able to travel or if the game will get canceled while we're warming up or anything like that. So we just really just try to train our mind just to stay ready, stay in the moment, stay focused, because we might be able to play, we might not. So you never know. So just stay ready.
And one more for Evan, just as one of the leaders of the defense and the whole team, what's your role been in kind of keeping the guys' heads right and just trying to keep everybody on the same page through this whole ordeal?
Yeah, that was one of the toughest things in the spring was, with not everyone being vaccinated at that time, it was a lot of the things were being done on Zoom, and it was hard to kind of connect with the freshmen and connect with the sophomores that were on the team that maybe I didn't have the best relationship with. I just met them on a platform like this we're doing right now, just a couple months before. So that was the hardest thing, and that's something that I've tried to take control of this summer. It's just kind of like reestablishing the locker room and getting guys back together, really creating that culture that we've had at UNH the entirety of the time I've been here, the first couple of years. So that's been tough, but it's definitely getting better as time's rolled on, and with the protocols being lightened a little bit, it's been a lot easier as well. So
thanks, guys.
Next question to Cameron Beal. Go ahead, Cameron.
Yeah, question for Coach. At your closing press conference in the spring, Brian Carter was the only player we knew who wasn't going to be returning for the fall. So I guess just a roster update in terms of players who were here in the spring that won't be returning for the fall season.
Well, Brian is the only senior that has left the program, along with Jack Cavallero. Jack was our starting tight end. Jack decided to forego his extra year, and when he got a great job, did what he was supposed to in the college degree. Got to say, everybody else is back, Cameron. We've got kids coming in. We've had probably about the best summer we've ever had in my football years here at UNH, program-wise, with guys being back on campus and working and get a lot of things done. A couple new freshmen will be coming in. A couple transfers have come into the program. So I think we got a well-rounded group. I think the biggest thing is what Ev just hit on, what Carlos talked a little bit about, getting back to some things that are just natural to UNH, being together, being on the field, working out, doing the weight room, doing the running together. So they've been doing their 7-on-7s all alone. It's been fun to hear, fun to see, and fun to be part of.
Next question to Bob Littman. Go ahead, Bob.
Hi, Coach. Good morning. What might be the burning question heading into the start of fall camp for UNH football?
What's going to be the burning question?
Yeah.
Making sure that we get all 100 of us to camp on time, making sure all 100 of us get through camp and get ready to play Stony Brook. Not a lot of questions. I think, we have some very good football players coming back. Unfortunately, we didn't get to show that in the spring because of what happened with it. I feel very good about where we are as a program depth-wise. I think on both sides of the ball, we got some kids that are ready to go. I think like our running back position with Carlos and Dylan Lobby is solid. Our secondary with Evan, Matt Oxidine, with Pop Bush, and I just look at the number of people that we have in the program. I'm excited about it.
What can you tell us about Evan Horn and Carlos Washington Jr. and about their leadership and helping to bring the whole group together this summer?
They are guys that are very important to the leadership program. They're both unit leaders in their program. The thing that I appreciate the most about these two guys, they lead from the front. And when they do their things, they're bringing people along with them. It's much needed, as I think every coach and every kid will talk about. Last year was not a great year to have some connectivity to each other in programs. And right now, watching these guys with the kids in the weight room, watching them on the field, we have, just the togetherness is so much better than it was. It's getting back to where we were. These two guys have done that. Both of them have had outstanding summers running and lifting. Looking forward to seeing everything come together on August 4th when we go back on the field.
Looking forward to. Thank you.
Next question this morning from David Teal. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm David Teal with the Richmond Times-Dispatch. You referenced the benefit of having an outside voice, such as the Tampa Bay Bucks doctors speak to your team.
Yep.
What percentage of your group do you expect to be vaccinated by the time you gather for preseason camp?
I hope we have close to 85% of our guys vaccinated by the time we get to preseason camp. That would be very good. There's going to be a certain amount of guys that have decisions to make about being vaccinated or not vaccinated. David, just look at the whole country. Look at the SEC. You got 3 teams that are only 85% vaccinated right now. So this is not something that's abnormal for other teams in the country and things like that. As we're getting closer and our players are starting to see the benefits of being vaccinated, not only for health reasons, but for them having the opportunity to move freely within the facilities, on the field, on campus, and things of that nature. I think when they see it in person, it gets a little bit better as we go along, David.
Has part of your educational process been not only with athletes, but also their families?
We have not dealt much with the families. Only the families that I've dealt with, to be honest with you, David, ones that had concerns about what vaccines. What I'm proud about the University of New Hampshire football program is that we're highly educated people, and they jobs of what they do, and their parents have given good guidance to the guys in the program, both the guys that are getting vaccinated and the guys that aren't. So the discussions that I've had with parents that have not had kids that are vaccinated and things of that nature, just telling them how important we believe it is, but at the same time respecting what their beliefs are and their opinions are.
Next question to Chris Heidel. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Coach Mack, how you doing?
Good, Chris. Riding high of the Mets, my man. Riding high of the Mets.
Exactly. I got a question for you. I talked to Pat Traduzzi last week down in the ACC kickoff, and he had a lot of good praises about you. Talk about that relationship with him. I know he told me that he took you to Michigan State for practice or something like that. Talk about that experience.
Yep, I've been friends with Pat since he was at Rhode Island. His dad was the defensive coordinator at Columbia before I got there. Have known him as an assistant coach, a coordinator, now as a head coach. He's helped me an awful lot in my career in a lot of different ways, giving us opportunities to meet with people in person, to watch practice, sit in their film rooms. I don't want to get to know him too well because we got him in the 4th game of the year right now, Chris. And that day we aren't going to be very friendly to each other, but really respect what he does, respect the staff of Pittsburgh. There's 2 UNH guys on it, Mark Whipple and Randy Bates. So good folks, good people, good coach, Pat Narduzzi.
That's cool. I want to ask Carlos a question. Your kid from Maryland, what was it like playing for Coach Mack, and how did you get up to Maryland? Because Coach Mack is such a great guy. He's a hardworking coach, and I would play football for him. if I had any eligibility.
I don't know about that, Chris. We'll see it.
Yeah. Being from Maryland and coming up here is definitely like different weather-wise. You know, it doesn't get as cold in Maryland that it gets up here for sure. So that was definitely, I would think, my biggest adjustment. But Coach Max has done a great job of just, you know, allowing me to make this my second home. Not even my second home, but my home away from home, you know, and just really just embracing me, and as well as my teammates and everyone up here as well, just really embracing me and letting me be who I am.
That's cool. I hope to see you all in September 25th in Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir. See you then.
We'll be there.
Follow-up question from Justin McIsaac. Go ahead, Justin.
Just a follow-up real quick, Coach. I know as coaches, you guys like to control as many things as you can as far as like, you know, on the field stuff and not necessarily off the field. How have you had to adjust to having this variable? It's not really in your control, who gets vaccinated, who doesn't, as far as, you know, how that will affect, you know, if a kid tests positive and he's not vaccinated, that might be a different protocol than if he was vaccinated. How have you had to adjust to that as a coaching staff?
Well, I'll tell you, go back almost a year ago, what we've had to adjust to over a year, Justin, between all the protocols we got to do. As Evan said, it's lightened up a little bit. You know, we aren't through this. We aren't by this. We are getting to it again. You know, and I'm going to tell you, as I've told the players and I've told our coaches that have been, you know, this is still going to be a work in progress, working hard to figure out where everything's going to be and what we're going to do. I just truly believe that our kids are going to make the best decisions in best interest in getting the opportunity to play football after only having one game last spring. I think that'll be the light at the end of the tunnel for us.
Thanks.
All right. David, do you have a follow-up for Coach Matt?
No, I'm sorry, Rob. I should have lowered my hand.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure. All right. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. I hope to see you back on the field here this fall in a more normal season, but good luck with camp.
Thanks, Rob. Have a great day, guys.
All right. Thanks, Evan. Thanks, Carlos.
Thank you.
Thank you.